Alright guys, and welcome to my next video on the AdMax Monopoly Madness. This question is dedicated to the block Reading Railroad. So guys, just following up, we did one question for Go, Mediterranean Avenue, Community Chest, Baltic Avenue, Income Tax. Well, my son kind of tore off a piece of my Monopoly board there. I'll retrieve it soon. But the next one is Reading Railroad. And guys, this one here, the topic is remainder and factor theorem. So by now you know how to access my videos. Just go on YouTube, go on the search bar, type in I Love Lessons, space, remainder. You can just type remainder, and that alone will bring up the first video. Okay? So guys, the reason I chose this question, because it's crazy hard, and it will build your confidence in remainder and factor theorem if you understand this. So bear with me. We're going straight down the road to the other side of the board today. It's that long. So here's what they gave you. They gave you an equation. I would really suggest you write down this equation now, because as we slide down, we're gonna lose sight of this equation, and you're gonna have to have it in front of you. So take your time and take it down. So you have this crazy looking equation, and look at it. It's x to the power 4 and x to the power 3. And they told you that it's divisible by 2x plus b. That means 2x plus b over here is actually a factor. When something is a factor, that means if you divide this by this, the remainder is supposed to be equal to 0. So if I told you x plus 3 was a factor, just if it, that means if we replace x with a certain value here, when we replace it and simplify it, we will get what? 0. But what would we have to replace x with? Whenever the examiner tells you something is a factor, just put it equal to 0 and solve for x. If I solve for x, I throw across positive 3 to get minus 3. That means if this is truly a factor, when I replace all the x's with minus 3 and I simplify it, I would get 0. Now, the examiner isn't telling us this is a factor. He's telling us this is a factor. So that means he is saying 2x plus b, if we were to put this equal to 0 and solve for who? X. Let's solve for x. You throw across positive b, you get minus b. And the 2 is a multiply, throw it across, you get a divide. So he's trying to tell us that if you replace all the x's with this, and you take your time and simplify it, it's supposed to be equal to 0. And he's telling us that he's asking us to show this expression. So I have a good feeling that when I replace all the x's here with this, and we simplify it, we should get this expression. So let's hope. So we're going across here. I'm going to move the camera, right? And I'm going to replace all the x's one by one with minus b on 2. So take down what you have to take down here, guys, because it's going to leave your point of view in a few minutes. Well, a few seconds and a few minutes. All right, so we have the next part of the board. We're going to replace x with how much? Minus b on 2. So I already took the liberty of writing the equation, and all the x's, one by one, replace it with minus b on 2. Let's take our time. Minus b on 2. Minus b on 2. X is what here? No, there's something wrong here. Wait, give me 1 second, guys. This one was 4b squared x squared. So I had to replace the x with what? Minus b on 2, and this was squared. This was 7bx. There was an x here. Let's replace him with minus b on 2. So I just want to double check everything because I make one mistake, I have to debug the whole video. So minus b on 2, minus b on 2, minus b on 2. Alright, so it seems that I replaced all the x's properly with minus b on 2. And the examiner is telling us that if we replace the x's with this, our expression is supposed to be 0 because they're claiming it's a factor. Let's take our time, guys. Now, whenever you have something minus, right? Like minus 3 squared, once it's an even power, you end up with a positive number. If you have a minus item and power is odd, you would end up with a minus number, right? Now, I'm just telling you that because you see like minus b to the power 4 minus b to the power 3. So when it's odd, you get to a minus. When it's even, you get a positive. So that will help us to move a little bit faster. So this to the power 4 belongs to everybody. It belongs to the b and it belongs to the 2. So we have 16 minus b to the power 4 is positive b to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 is 16. Now both of them, the top and the underneath, get to the, well I know how to pronounce that, but you get to the power 4, I guess. Minus 4 minus b to the power 3 is minus b cubed. It remains minus because the power is odd. And 2 to the power 3 is 8. Minus 4b squared. Minus b squared is what? Positive b squared. And 2 squared is 4. Now over here is going to be a little bit easier. This one has no power. So a minus and a plus is a minus. Let's get that out of the way. B by b is b squared. So we end up with 7b squared on 2 plus what? 18. Alright, let's try our best to simplify this. It don't even look scary, guys, but the key here is just to take your time. Okay? And I know it's much easier when you have a big whiteboard like this, right? So, look it up. Look at this. 16 will cancel out with that 16, so let's go on. 4 into 8 is 2. This 4 will cancel out with this 4. Alright, unfortunately, I'm not going to do anything there. So, you're only left with b to the power 4. Minus and a minus is a positive b what? Cubed. We have minus b squared by b squared is b to the power what? 4. Minus 7b squared on 2 plus 18. And this whole thing is equal to 0. Now let's check on my camera to make sure nothing is off. Right? Looking good. I bet you see something that can cancel off already. B to the power 4 minus a next b to the power 4. This and this will cancel off, right? So you end up with only b cubed minus 7b squared on 2 plus what? 18. And you have this annoying 2. So what are you going to do? You are going to multiply everybody by 2. So, and that's something you can do in maths. If you have an annoying denominator, you can get rid of it by multiplying everybody on this side and on this side by the denominator. But you have to be fair. If you multiply everybody on this side by 2, you have to multiply everybody on the other side by 2. So let's take this. Let's multiply him by 2. Multiply him by 2. Multiply him by 2. Multiply him by 2. Well, you get b cubed by 2 is 2b cubed. 2 and the 2 will cancel out. You get minus 7 what? B squared. Okay? Plus what? 36. Okay, I just double checking everything here to make sure I ain't copied down nothing wrong. What did I do wrong, guys? I did something wrong. Oh, I forgot the 2 underneath the, no. Oh my, there was a 2 underneath here. That's something. The b cube, the minus and the minus, is a plus. That's the cube, but I forgot to put the 2 underneath here. Alright, so I forgot the 2, but it doesn't really mess up anything that bad, right? So, sorry about that, but it's the same procedure. So that means that this 2 and this 2 will cancel out to give you b cube. So I just forgot the 2 to put it in this line here. So I had to carry it down here. Alright, small error. Good thing I caught it early, right? Otherwise we would have been in a little bit of trouble. Now this is what the examiner asked us to prove. Right, so let me just slide back here, right? Remember, he had asked us to prove, right? He had asked us to prove. Let me make sure it's on the screen there. Right. He had asked us to prove this expression. And we got the same exact expression across there. So now they want us to solve for b. They want us to solve this equation. So let's go across now. I wrote it on the other board there, right? Alright, hopefully everybody can see it. Yep. So over here, we have to solve this expression. Now, I'm not too sure if you all remember how to solve when you have to the power 3. You will have to guess the first value of b that will make this expression equal to 0. Now, I went ahead and I did it already. And I found that if I replace b with positive 3 and I work this out, I will get 0. But I'm going to double check it. Okay? So it's 27 minus 7 multiplied by 9. Yep, when you replace b with 3, you will get 0. So my first solution, I'm going to write my solutions here. My first solution is b is equal to positive 3. You just always have to guess the first value. Now we have to divide this by the factor. Now, if b equals to positive 3 makes this equal to 0, you have to divide the expression by x, but it's not x no more, it's b. It's b minus 3. You just take the opposite of the number. I didn't make a mistake here. If it's positive, you put a negative. And you have to divide this entire expression. Make it a little longer. You'll see why I'm making it longer just now. You have to take this and divide it by this. And you will get a quadratic on top. And then your job is to solve the quadratic, giving you 2 more answers for b. And you add it to the list. Seems simple enough? Let's get started. But there's a trick. And there's I keep telling you, I choose these questions because it has some sort of trick in it. You have b cubed, b squared, and then they skip to 36. You notice regular boring b is missing. For this to work, you must have a b. 0b plus what? 36. So it has to be in descending order of powers. b cubed, b squared, b to the power 1, and then b to the power 0, or no b at all. And then we begin to divide. So I'm going to go through the division quickly because, like I said, my remainder and factor theorem video before that I already did went through how to divide in detail, and you need to go through it in detail also. Let's get started. b into b cubed is b squared. What you get here, you multiply by both of them. So you get b cubed minus 3b squared. What you need to do is minus everything. Minus this, this from this. b cubed minus b cubed is 0. You're always supposed to get 0 here. And here you have minus 7b squared minus 3b squared. So you see how 2 minus come together? So you get minus 7b squared plus 3b squared, giving you minus 4b squared. Then the 0b drops down to join the party. Where's my duster? I just use this napkin here. So you repeat the process now. b into minus 4b squared is minus 4b. Take this and multiply back by both of them. Minus 4b by b is minus 4b squared. Minus 4b by minus 3 is positive 12b. You have to minus these two things. Minus 4b squared minus and a minus is a plus. You will get 0 here. 0b minus 12b is minus 12b. And the 36 drops down to join the party. b into minus 12 is, b into minus 12b is minus 12. Take this answer and multiply both of them. You will get minus 12b plus 36. Put a minus sign. When you minus the top from the underneath, you're going to get 0. And we know we are correct because we said, well, after we had guessed b was equal to 0, b was equal to 3, we said that b minus 3 would be a factor. And when something is a factor, after you divide it, your remainder is supposed to be 0. So I know I'm on the right track, right? So to get the other answers for b, I just have to solve this quadratic. So instead of x's, it's b. This is a, b is minus 4, and c is minus 12. Just throw it into the quadratic formula. I'm going to keep stressing that, hey guys, I'm not going to be solving a quadratic in this series. I did a lot of videos showing you how to solve a quadratic. You could use factorization, the quadratic formula, vertex form, you could use graphs. I went through so many different ways already in previous videos that when it comes to solving a quadratic, I'm just going to use my calculator and do the shortcut. So sorry about that. But if you can't use the quadratic formula, you need to invest your time and go through those videos, guys. Okay? So I'm going to solve this quadratic. So mode 2, 2. Yes, I'm mode 2, 2. A is 1, B is minus 4, and C is minus 12. So the other answers for B is 6 and minus 2. Let me see if those answers made it to the screen. I know it's kind of low. And that's the end of the question, right? Look at this question. It's beautiful. All right? We started from on this side of the board and we worked all the way down to this side. So guys, I really hope that you understood the question, and more importantly to me, I hope you enjoyed the question. Take a look at what you guys just did. Right? Let's slide across and see how much work you all did. Right? If you understood it, you should feel so proud about yourself. Okay? Add maths, it's a little bit difficult. But once you get the hang of add maths, you're going to love it. And when you get the hang of add maths, normal CXC maths becomes a breeze. And if you're planning to do Form 6, get your add maths in order. It sets a strong foundation for pure maths, right? Talk to any Form 6 student, they will tell you, hey, you need to be really good at add maths to pass pure maths, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm definitely having fun doing this series. And this series is perfect to watch, like, coming up to the CXC exam. Make sure and do all the topics in add maths first. This serves as like your crash course to ensure to fine-tune before the actual CXC exam. Okay guys, take care. And of course, oh guys, please leave comments. I want to know what you're thinking. If there's a certain question, a category of question you want me to work out, mention it in the comments. I really like getting ideas. It saves me time. I don't have to go and try to figure out what you guys want. Put it in the comments and I'll look for questions, right, to suit you. Take care, guys.